Okay, so I closed out my program and it seemed to fix that where it kept renaming the script. Alright, so let's take a look at creating a transition from our idle, our walk, and our run. Okay, so I'm going to right click on walk, make transition here. And then what I'm going to do at the bottom here is I'm going to create an integer called run and I'll leave it at 0. So we're going to stick with 0 because I want to show you how to use integers. Alright, let's open up our script. Um, Let's do like kind of like the classic games do and have it where you have to hold two buttons in order to make him run. So I'm going to say if input.getKey is W and um, let's see, and we want to do, let's say left shift, which would be kind of neat. Instead of W here, we're going to do dot left shift. There we go. Okay, so we want to do something. Well, we want to use a set integer here. So this is an integer. And again, it's not that hard, right? You probably can figure this out on your own. But if you just type in anim.set integers, there you go, integer, you probably guessed already that it has two parameters, right? The first parameter is the ID, and the second one is the value. Okay. What we want to do is we want to access run here. So let's type in run. And that means we want this integer value, because we could have like dozens of integer values. So that's what the whole point of this first one is. And let's just say 1 for now. Okay. So I'm going to save that. And okay, we have this. And let's edit this. So I don't want him walking. So let's go ahead and take walk. And I'm going to turn this to false. And let's look at our code to make sure that we have that backed up. So if I'm holding shift or W and the left shift key, we want to make sure that walk is turned off to false in order to make this happen. Because the thing is, you don't want him walking. If walk is true, you'll have some weird glitching blending animation between walking and running. And we want to set animation.setIntegerRun to 1, right? So we only want this to happen if walk is set to false and we have run set to 1. There's also another problem here. If walk is set to false here, it's going to actually, let's look at our animation here. Walk is set to true, right, from here to here, right? And that happens if we hit W. Here, walk is set to false and it'll idle. So right now, we have a conflict. This is set to false and this is set to false. So I'll have issues blending between the idles. So let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to save this, right? Because in theory, if I'm holding the W and the left shift, the shift key, he should run. So I'm holding W and I'm holding shift. Look, nothing's happening. He's just idling. And the reason why he's idling is because I have W. It's because I'm holding W and shift. It turns walk to false, which means it idles. So we have to make sure that we go back into here and we make a transition. And what that transition is we want to go from idle to run, right? If run is set to 1. And I mean, you can kind of see how that looks. There's your idle to run. And this is what your walk to run looks like. It's actually a pretty nice transition. Alright, so I'm going to press, well, let me save this. I keep forgetting to do that. And let's see if that works. I'm walking, I hold shift, and now he's running, and you can see he's actually running in the scene. Okay, we have a problem. When we release our things, he doesn't stop. Okay. What do we want him to do? Well, we want him to go back to idling when we release our W and our shift. So let's see how we code that. So I'm going to copy this get key code here. And below it, I'm just going to change it instead of if input.getKey up, which means up meaning releasing this, and releasing this. We're going to set run back down to 0. And we're going to turn walk to false. Okay, so let's see what that does. So walk will be set to false, which is what satisfies this parameter, and run will be set to 0. So actually, I wonder if I go without setting this. Let's see what happens. I'm just coding it. So let me just see what happens if I don't code it. Yeah, I still have to code it. Okay. Or not code it, I still have to link it. So let's link it back. Create state. Or make transition back. So let's go ahead and make this run is 0. So that's when it goes back. And walk is false. Alright, I'm going to press play here. He's running. I release these guys, he's idling. If I hold W, he's just walking. The problem too is, let's go in here for a second. If my guy's walking here, you can see he walks, and I hit spacebar. He doesn't like, his speed doesn't change. He's always moving at the same speed. So let's go ahead and add a walk speed, instead of a walk speed here, let's go ahead and add a run speed. Alright, and what I'm just going to say here is, I'm going to copy this, and I'm just going to say, if these guys are pressed down, I'm going to change this to run speed. Alright, and alright, and then let's just take a look at what our walk speed was set to, and then just maybe make run speed 1. That might be too quick even, but and I'm going to add some game objects in here, just so we have like sort of a marker, see how far, the distance and speed. Alright, so here's our guy. He has a nice leisurely walk. Then I hold shift, you can see it's much faster. Alright. Let's also make a transition back to walk. Let's see. Run equals 0, walk equals false, and he idles. If we release these guys, alright, let's do one more transition going this way. And he walks if walk is true, he'll walk. And do we turn off walk? Yeah. Alright, let's see what happens here. So he's walking, I release it, he's walking, I hold shift, he's running, I release it, our run stays here at 1. Oh, okay, so we want to make sure that even in our walk, we're always setting, if our character is walking, we set run back down to 0. Let's see if that fixes it. So we're kind of in this like debugging mode right now. So I'm walking, you can see run stays. I'm at 1, I release it, he's back down. Alright. We're almost at the stage soon where we'll be able to turn, and then we're going to implement a simple coin pickup game. So our character can run like Mario and pick up coins, and that's sort of the goal of this second game. And after you collect so many coins, you get a win screen or a lose screen, and then we'll build on that from there.